In 2015, one of the sharpest minds on Wall Street bet his reputation on a single stock. 2 years later, he'd lost about $4 billion. Not because his math was wrong. Because he fell in love. And here's the uncomfortable part: you've probably done the same thing with a stock you own right now. Falling in love with a stock is the most expensive emotion in investing. It turns a disciplined analyst into a defense attorney. Today I'll show you how it wrecked a Wall Street legend, why your own brain sets the trap, and the exact system that keeps you objective. Bill Ackman didn't just buy Valeant Pharmaceuticals. He championed it. He called it an early-stage Berkshire Hathaway. Pershing Square, his fund, built a massive stake near the top. Then the story cracked. Questions about the accounting. Questions about the pricing. The stock didn't dip, it fell off a cliff, losing more than 90% of its value. So what did a rational investor do? He doubled down. He went on television and defended it. He joined the board. Every new piece of bad news got reframed as a buying opportunity. By March 2017, Ackman finally sold. The loss? Around $4 billion. This wasn't a dumb investor. This was one of the smartest analysts alive, blinded by a stock he'd married. But here's what nobody tells you: the trap isn't greed. It's your own biology. The second you buy a stock, something changes in your head. Psychologists call it the endowment effect. We value things more simply because we own them. There's a famous experiment. Give people a coffee mug, then ask what they'd sell it for. On average, they demand about twice what buyers are willing to pay. Same mug. The only difference is ownership. Now stack a second bias on top. Commitment and consistency. Once you've told your friends, your family, the comment section that a stock is a winner, admitting you're wrong feels like a personal failure. So you defend the position instead of the truth. And then there's confirmation bias. You start Googling only the bullish takes. You skip the bad news. You treat critics as haters instead of data. So let me ask you directly. Think about the stock you hold most tightly right now. Are you holding it because the numbers still work, or because it's yours? Tell me in the comments, head or heart. Here's where it gets really interesting, because even the greatest investor who ever lived fell into this exact trap. In 1965, Warren Buffett took control of a failing New England textile company. The name? Berkshire Hathaway. The textile business was dying. Buffett knew it. The smart move was to close it early and redeploy the cash. But he didn't. He kept those mills running for 20 years, pouring in money, out of loyalty to the workers and stubbornness about the name. Buffett later called buying that textile company the biggest investment mistake of his life. He estimated the stubbornness cost him around $200 billion in lost compounding. Now sit with the counterintuitive truth here. Loyalty is a beautiful thing in your marriage, your friendships, your family. But loyalty to a stock? That's not a virtue. That's a leak in your portfolio. A stock doesn't know you own it. It will never love you back. So the discipline isn't to feel less, it's to build a system that overrides the feeling. Here's the 3-step system professionals use to stay clear-headed. Step 1: write the thesis down before you buy. Put it in one paragraph. Why you're buying, what has to stay true, and the price you think it's worth. When you write it down, you can't rewrite history later. The paper remembers what your ego forgets. Step 2: define your kill criteria before you're emotional. Ask this: what specific thing, if it happened, would make me sell? Falling revenue for 3 straight years? A broken moat? A debt wall? Name it now, while you're calm. Step 3: run the "would I buy it today" test. Every year, look at your holding as if you own 0 shares. At today's price, with today's numbers, would you buy it fresh? If the honest answer is no, you're not investing anymore. You're just attached. That one question would have saved Ackman. It would have flagged Berkshire's textile mills in year 1. It separates the investor from the fan. And just so we're clear, this is educational, not financial advice. Always do your own research, and remember that past performance never guarantees future results. Remember what I said at the start: Ackman didn't lose $4 billion because his math was wrong. He lost it because he stopped doing math and started defending a feeling. So here's the principle to carry with you. You should love the process of investing, the reading, the patience, the discipline. But never love the position. The company doesn't know your name, and it will never love you back. Your job isn't to be right about one stock. It's to stay objective across 1,000 decisions. So be honest with me: have you ever held a stock too long because you were attached? Yes or no in the comments. Subscribe for daily lessons in thinking clearly about money, because tomorrow, I'm breaking down the one number on the balance sheet that quietly warns you a company is in trouble, long before the price does.